living very dangerously. I'm on the wrong side. Oh no, she's moved the tripod.
Well, so it'll be right. I just saw the second one. Actually, it was better than the first one.
Yeah, it's just weird. According to the internet and the reviews I've seen, written reviews, which I looked at while we were watching the film.
I checked my email.
Apparently the first one's the popular one, but I thought this one was better because this one is just crap, easy to follow, and vaguely
Very
imaginative. Well, the other one was like crap, confusing, hard to follow, and not very imaginative.
Nemesis 2, Gabrielle's Revenge.
Yes, so the French guy is gone.
He's gone. We're done with it.
He gets like 2 lines at the very start, and it's not even in dialogue. It's like at the very start of a text crawl. It's like,
yeah,
he tried to stop.
This was me and things and stuff. No, the biggest Alex Rain fought the cyborgs, and he failed.
Yeah, so then it's like 50 years later, and the world has become a hell pit, controlled by cyborgs, a la the Terminator. So this woman...
And, like, Los Angeles has become dystopian in just that time. Like, all new buildings and everything like that with, like, huge, massive cooling fans on the top of skyscrapers for no reason whatsoever.
Looking like something out of Highlander 2: The Quickening. And then this woman genetically engineers somehow a baby to be all like, she's gonna fight the cyborgs.
No, she was chosen by the rebels or something like that. But then they steal a craft from the rebels. From the cyborgs, one that can travel through time. They just drop that on you. FYI, they've got time travel
because they're
now.
remaking the Terminator. The first one had bits from the Terminator. This one goes full on, and then they send the girl back in time.
No, she just randomly goes back to 1980 East Africa in the middle of one of the rebellions that plagued Africa during the 80s.
Yeah, the mother and the daughter are back in Africa. The mother gets killed, and then she's raised by Irish. That would have been great.
Raised by the Irish in East Africa.
She's raised by African tribespeople.
My name is Mubatu O'Reilly.
To become the lightest in a long line of magical white people who are the greatest warriors of African tribes.
Basically, her mother's killed by the rebels, and then they're killed by some tribespeople, and the chief is finds the baby, he's like, we will take her. But he doesn't say that, he just takes her. And then, cut to later, her name is, the mother says to her, where no one else can hear, don't worry, Alex, I'll come back to you.
We're called Alex because the director only has one name he can use for the main character.
But then, so even though the tribespeople, she has no identifying information on her, except, this pendant, that her mom gives her, but they have no way to know, but she's called Alex anyway. They knew.
And they call her Alex, even though that's not a name that would be familiar to them.
And then 20 years later, she's a late 20s, early 30s something bodybuilder. Yeah. Literally the part is being played by a female bodybuilder.
I am Arnold. Arnold.
Alex Arnold.
Yeah.
So, she challenges to be able to be a warrior in the tribe.
And they're all like, you can't be a warrior, you're just a girl.
Only one person's like that.
When she could crush their head with her fist.
We shouldn't have let you into our tribe. And everyone's like, no, she's our sister. You
are a stupid, muscular white woman. And then you go, I could crush you with my hand.
Shit out. Although this guy who played the dissenting tribesman, he really was like, you know what? They're paying me. They're going to get their fucking money's worth. He was like, wah, wah, and just
constantly
really,
getting thrown onto the
but then just leaping up and going, wah, and just being like...
It reminded me of the guy who made lion sounds in Mortal Kombat, the movie. He just appeared in one scene with Liu Kang where he got beaten up, but he would just be all like, and they dubbed on lion roaring and stuff. It reminded me of him.
Well, yeah, so then she asks her, her brother in the tribe, I want to know where I come from. I'm angsty, even though I'm a warrior. And he's like, oh, sure, I'll show you.
You come from the mystic land
of
Wexford.
And then, they go back to the crash place. Apparently the chief has forbidden everyone to talk about it. And he's like, you came from there. Maybe you will jog your memory to see it. Despite the fact they found her and she was basically 6 to 8 months old.
Yeah.
And then you tried to call the movie on something and I knew a thing.
Yeah. She came down on the side of the movie.
Because
I'm gonna go. I am so embarrassed. I'm gonna lie down.
No. Well, basically, so they said we thought you were somebody from space. Stop doing that. I can see you in the display. Stop it. No, I'm trying to be serious. And he says something like, we thought you were just American. And how did this come up? Because apparently, missionaries had been with their tribe, later and taught them all how to speak English. So he goes into speaking English. And she's like, yeah, but the missionaries taught us English. And he's like, yeah, but you picked it up a lot faster. You didn't need much instruction.
So that's why we assumed you were American.
And then she was like, no, nuh-uh. And I said, actually. Now here's the thing. There's no way for them to have known this when the movie was made back in 1995. But what? Stop doing that. I try to be all professional like Brad Jones when we do vlogs.
Brad, professional?
Whatever.
Maybe in his mounted videos he does, but that's about it.
Well, but anyway. But so, actually, research and Patricia Kuhn, she is, Google her, because she has a TED Talk about this, and her research is fantastic. It's been going on for the past 10 years. That there's in a child's brain, there's a sweet spot of between 6 to 8 months. Now, before 6 to 8 months, the human brain, the child's brain, is wired to place priority on the human voice above all other sounds. I can see what you're doing. I'm looking at the display, and I can see you being like a giraffe back there. But so pretty much at around 6 to 8 months, your brain locks into your native language. Stop doing that. I'm gonna leave this vlog right now, and you'll have to do it by yourself.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Sorry,
so
mistress.
the brain locks into your native language, and so before that time, they had this experiment where they had babies from Mandarin-speaking households and babies from English-speaking households, and they reacted the same to phonemes based on the different languages. But then at that 6 months, the babies who were in Mandarin-speaking households went up for the Mandarin phonemes, but down for the English, and vice versa. And so basically, if you raise a child bilingually, you're actually changing the wiring of their brain. And this is a really, really cool experiment, and it shows that basically, because of genes like FOXP2 and the way that our brains just innately are, we do have an inherent language acquisition device like Chomsky suggested. So actually, even though the movie didn't know it yet, I see you doing it with a pillow, they were correct. That because she had been in an English-speaking environment, up until about that sweet spot, her brain became locked for English, although she probably does have a lot of differences because she was also raised speaking this tribal language. So, the science was dodgy at the time, but not now. Sit back up. Do you see what I have to go through? Do you see what I have to go through?
I was doing nothing.
Here, you talk about people.
I thought this much more entertaining, and according to the review, I found one review which was wonderfully scathing. It was
actually
all four movies being reviewed in a list, and it gets so more scathing. And like by part 4, one of the quotes is something along the lines of, if you've watched all these films in a row by now, you will want to fight Albert Pune to the death.
I don't think that's gonna happen because I've got class tomorrow. But
yeah, this is just fucking ridiculous.
The script was a wee bit better.
It was very generic, but it was silly.
Yeah.
The monster guy who's trying to kill her, sorry, it's not even called the Nemesis.
The Predator.
Called the Nebula, but
the Nebula.
What the fuck is Nemesis in the context of this film, of these series?
Because she came from the dystopian future of Los Angeles.
The first one's called Nemesis too. No, it's called Nemesis as well.
Yeah. So, Nemesis. So
it's just this film should have been called. The monster should have been called the Nemesis because it was trying to kill her.
But it wasn't in the first one, though.
Doesn't make any sense.
It also had this weird, sonic wave effect that was very disconcerting to actually watch.
Yeah, it was a bit like
You're like, whoa.
Constant,
whoa.
what do you call it, ripple out with water.
Yeah. So it was kind of, hard on the eyes.
But structurally, once the actual Terminator, ripoff gets there, it's a lot more like Predator in the way that it acts than it does Terminator.
Well, there's always two sets of bad guys. In this it was... What are you doing? This it was the Nemesis and also the Rebels. But I was expecting literally, at the end, someone in a suit to show up and be like, "It's me, LAPD."
Yeah, because the LAPD are... We're totally not forgetting that. LAPD apparently have universal jurisdiction. So I assume they will turn up at some point.
Welcome to East Africa.
Looking at the cover for this one, this is the cover for the third one. I'm hoping for some Lawnmower Man shit there.
Ouch.
But the Nemesis had... You see, it makes more sense! The Nebula some of the noises it made, I recognized. It took me ages to work out what it was.
And she finally was like, I know the thing. And I was like,
yeah, because it makes some sort of like, noises, surface noise, and you got the music of the film, and you got the noise, the action thing. But the very back of it, you have some sort of, which I can't actually do because it's electronic. It's like that, but electronic and repetitive. And I worked out what it was.
What was it?
It's the sound that Apollo Z Hack's robot tokusatsu suit makes whenever he's turned into it. The sort of the almost like breathing action. I'm the Apollo Z Hack type noise, and it's in this film.
I don't know. Truth, Apollo.
I don't know if Apollo ripped it from this, although I doubt it. It's probably a stock sound, but it was funny. Yeah,
because she was like, wait a minute, I figured something out. And I was like,
I do this when we're watching.
I was looking up from Twitter, I was like, huh?
And it's doubly funny.
There was no dog in this one, though.
Yeah. It's doubly funny because the robot suit, the Nebula, looks possibly worse than Apollo Z Hack's Reviewverse Saga suit.
It's just saying something because he didn't have a budget and this did.
Yeah. And the Nebula, it looks like the Fisher King from season 9 of New Who, which was...
I'm the best warrior race. I'll assemble slowly after you, Doctor.
Wasn't the best warrior race the Meyer?
Yeah, but they were claiming that his people were claiming that they were one of the best as well.
Oh wow! I didn't even notice that.
That's why I said when we were talking about when we watched the end, we watched the last one. This was like basically what race this season didn't claim to be the best warrior race in the galaxy.
Yeah,
it was like, no, it's us. Come back here, Doctor.
We have such imagination, but it looks like that, but not quite as shit. But on the other hand, it's not voiced by Peter Serafinowicz, and Peter Serafinowicz is awesome.
I have vagina face. Look around you. Look around you.
Yeah, that's true.
I made a British joke just now.
Headcanon, honey.
What?
Do you remember I showed you the video sketches from the Peter Serafinowicz show about the Butterfield Detective Agency, where he's like, here I am playing a croupier, a sailor. Yeah. That's Peter Serafinowicz as well. So the Fisher King was Mr. Butterfield in his disguise as a sci-fi monster. It makes sense.
I believe this right. I'm just happy I made a British joke. Our British followers. Aha! I get it.
3 people will get it.
Like DeVillo.
DeVillo doesn't watch these.
Well, he retweets me a lot.
Yes, but that's purely out of kindness.
Aww.
We'll find out if he watches these. Because he'll leave some sort of a comment.
And we're like, oh, I was there. And we're like, yeah, we talked about you.
Yeah.
Susie watches us sometimes.
Susie doesn't watch us.
But anyway.
If she does, she will leave a comment, and one of us will be proved right.
She will. But, yeah, so, actually, because it was less convoluted, I like this one better. It was more consistent. And I value consistency.
The action wasn't as interesting as the previous one.
Well, tell them what happened at the end. I mean, not spoilers, but the last scene.
Plane?
The last scene of the... And you're like, wait a minute, stop. Let's rewind and look at that again.
Oh, yeah, the very last shot.
They're driving off. And there's, like, some kind of, like, weird sci-fi effect going... Woo, woo,
yeah,
woo,
yeah,
woo. And then, like, something happens to the corner, and she's like, wait a second. And rewinded it.
Yes.
I mean,
the epic driving away from the camera shot at the end, which is like... And then there's a little... Like that.
Like someone's like, and cut.
Yeah, it was someone doing a signal to say the shot's over, and it was left in the film. So either that happened every single take, they didn't notice, or they just chose to use that one because it was the best one. They were like, fuck it. Which was funny in itself.
Nemesis.
But this one, the action's not as good as the first one, but the film's more, I find, better. But,
yeah, a lot less sparks. More explosions, though.
Yeah.
Everything fucking explodes.
Yeah, the first one's confusingly, eccentrically edited. Decent action and hell of a lot of sparks, and this one, a lot less eccentric.
Who played the short-haired girl?
That was somebody Coates. I looked her up, and I recognized
eyes like that all the time?
I think so.
I think she might have that genetic disease. See, you know how, like, YouTube basically will just, like, has now just given up all pretense of an algorithm and be like, this was uploaded recently by someone you don't follow, you should watch it. And it's some girl that does, like, you know, makeup videos and stuff, but people have been like, what's wrong with your face? Because she has these really, like, really bright, really, like, entrancing eyes. And come to find out that she has this genetic disorder. And a lot of people that have these, like, really bright, outstanding eyes. So it made me wonder if, like, she was wearing color contacts, that actress was, or she has that disorder.
I have no idea. But I recognized her, and I looked through her filmography, and I don't recognize any of the names of them. So it's possible I watched it and forgot. Although she was in Omega Doom, but I can't recall. And I've seen that definitely, but I don't recall her being in that.
Well. So, I actually liked this better than the first one.
So did I.
And we're gonna watch the third one, and then hopefully either make or pay someone to bring us food.
Nemesis 3 and Nemesis 4, and apparently the fourth one is only 60 minutes. So what I'm getting from this...
Yeah, I'm getting off early.
So I'm getting from this...
not getting off early, I mean, you know what I mean.
I'm gonna make a prediction.
What?
Still haven't seen any of these, except for the first two now. The first one looks the most like a proper feature film.
Yeah.
The second one looked cheaper.
Yeah.
I got the feeling this is going to continue on. It's going to get worse and worse looking. It's going to be a bit
so it's going to be like filmed in some... Oh, that's where it's filmed. Brad's house, the last one.
Possibly. Yeah. I'm going to... And my analogy is going to be the Frogtown movies.
I don't know the Frogtown movies.
The first one was a decent budgeted one where it was like a...
It sounds like some kind of like old-timey in the South, like, you know, like everyone's got a banjo on their knee and like it's all animated and stuff like, little Freddy lives in Frogtown. He tries to be the best frog he can be, but sometimes little Freddy needs help from his friends to understand things like friendship and sharing and doing what the Lord says is right. Join us every Sunday on Frogtown. Frogtown!
Frogtown was post-apocalyptic.
Have you been to Frogtown? Write the show.
Post-apocalyptic town that was inhabited by
frogs?
Yes, by human frog,
nice.
Human frog hybrids.
Did they learn lessons about how they should be good and worship Jesus?
No, I believe, if I remember correctly...
I don't know why I'm making this an evangelical thing, but I feel like
if I remember correctly, they're after, sex slaves or sperm or something.
Jesus would not approve.
So, Roddy Piper has to go in and rescue people from them. And it's, it's not exactly the giantest budget thing, but it's a solid 80s film.
Here in Frogtown.
And now there's been like 5 of them. And by the time the last one happened, it was literally filmed in someone's garage with, like, Halloween mask type masks for the frogs. And they filmed them without scripts or anything. They just filmed random stuff, edited together. Frankly, Doug's regular TV show, I'm talking about the stuff, nostalgic to camera stuff, looks more cinematic by a factor of 12 to the later Frogtown movies.
Well, there you go.
I'm hoping that we're getting a similar sort of thing here where it's like...
Well, it looks like Freddy's done got himself into a bit of a pickle this time. How's he gonna get out, children? Tune in next week.
My hand ended up somewhere vaguely suggestive.
It's not. It's like on my hand, which is like in my lap. But would you stop that? But yeah, so we're doing a thing, and you are coming along for the ride. So in a few minutes for you, as long as you let the ad load on YouTube, you'll be seeing us. But for us, it will be the future. Here in Frogtown.
Nemesis 3! Does this have a subtitle?
Probably when in the movie it will, but they didn't put it on the box.
Nemesis, well, it's got a small 3, so maybe it's Nemesis cubed. The terror has returned.
That's all we really have to say about this. You can stop watching now. I don't know why she hasn't turned it off yet.